Hello, everyone. Today, once again, in another episode of Rachna, the Mind Architect Diaries podcast. Today, we have another guest with us, Mr. Ajay Sodhi. So, I welcome Ajay on this podcast and I now request him to please introduce yourself. Ajay, over to you.
Hello, Rachna. Thank you very much for inviting me for this wonderful podcast and giving me the opportunity to share my views. To the viewers, hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world watching right now. I'm Ajay Sodhi. I'm basically serving the IT industry from past almost 18 years, and uh, and I'm a mindset enthusiast as well. So that's how me and Rachna are connected. So today I got the opportunity to uh, share my views and interact with you guys and do the conversation with Rachna. So let's start.
Let's start. So thank you, Ajay, for this accepting this invite, and really glad that our audience is going to enjoy this conversation because me coming from a different background, from commerce to psychology, and you coming from a corporate world, so we are going to have a lot of discussions which people are going to enjoy and they'll learn a lot of things out of that. So my first question to you
So
is why mental health is still a stigma and even in educated and aware communities, why it is
yeah,
still a
so
stigma.
mental health is one of the things which is talked about most, but really very few people understand what exactly it is. So mental health, some people say that it is that if you have a peace of mind, then you have a good mental health. Some may relate to I'm having a good job and I'm earning well. It's a sign of a good mental health. Some may relate it to I am I'm content with what I'm doing, so that shows that I'm having a good mental health. But exactly, it is much beyond that. So mental health is a part of the vehicle that we all use, which is our body. So it is not exactly the brain, it is not exactly the mind, and it is having a combination of both. So once we if I have to give it an analogy, then I would say that uh, consider that you have a car who's having four tires, but those tires are flat, so you won't be able to move that vehicle to some other place. So that mindset and mental health plays that role of having the air in those tires, though they are not punctured and they are not flat. So having a mental health is, people need to be more aware of what exactly it is at the very first place. They need to understand it, which what they majority of the people I think are not aware of it.
Yes.
So and and having a mental health, and people relate it to various different things. Like they say, okay, I want to achieve this, and even I have to push my body, I have to push myself mentally, and then I would be successful, and I'll be having a mental peace. So no, that's not a right definition of it. So people need to understand it further.
Yeah, and very, very rightly said that people need to understand it and it goes hand in hand. People, even if
Yeah.
they are having awareness, they do not take steps. So my next second question is connected with this, that even if when people are struggling with all these things, what is that one thing which stops them? Why do they do not take steps? Why they try to self learn everything and still they are, and even after doing a lot of things they are still stuck? What is that one thing, or you think that what people which stops them?
Actually, again comes back to the awareness part. People are not aware exactly what they exactly need to do, why they are stuck. So if I say somebody is jobless at the moment, so I would really love them to introspect themselves and understand and ask certain questions to themselves why they are unemployed now. Have they been to uh, regularly being going to library? Are they upgrading themselves? Are they in the right circle? Are they asking the right questions to themselves? So there are an number of things that person need to ask. And because of the unawareness of being known, uh, they are unknown to themselves. I must say they don't understand themselves fully, their potentials. Because what happens these days, a lot of time people say, okay, you need to improve there, you might need to tweak your strategies there, and then you will grow. But they don't talk about themselves, who exactly they are. They don't
Right.
tell themselves, okay, these are my strengths. They don't tell themselves, okay, I'm good at this. They don't tell themselves, okay, I'm still doing much great than most of the people. But they don't consider these things. They feel stuck. They are unaware why they are stuck. They don't question themselves why they are stuck. That's a very preliminary and basic question that everybody must ask themselves. They shouldn't people, these days what happens, there is a lot of what I say, competition in the corporate world or anywhere, if, whosoever is working in whatsoever domain. So people, compare themselves. Okay, that guy is doing greater than me. That girl is doing much. That girl is earning much higher. But have they really asked themselves? Okay, how I was a year ago, how I was 6 months ago, how I am today, and what is my plan to go forward, right? So these are the everything starts with a great question. So the great question is what I think people are not asking themselves. And
Yes.
that's why they
So
feel stuck.
yeah, and very, very beautifully you have said this, that asking right questions to ourselves is very important. And somewhere, sometime we can relate it with the self-awareness part as well, that they are not self-aware, and that's why they are stuck. Also, they do not take steps. They are not moving forward. Even if they are taking some steps, they don't know where they are going. The inner part
Yeah.
is not aligned with what they want and where they want to go. And that's where these questions what you have mentioned comes in, that they need to ask, they should ask the right questions to themselves, that around their choice and feelings, and what they are feeling in that moment, and how they should come out of that. So very, very beautifully you have said this, and I hope our audience, which is or listening to all these things, will gain some insights and try to find out the right questions to themselves. My next question is that how do our societal expectations shape that how we deal with stress and anxiety?
Societal conditions. Just before answering this question, I must shed some light on the context. That how much we are influenced by our society. So your nationality is not defined by you. Your gender is not defined by you. Your name is not defined by you. Your caste and religion is not defined by you. What what you should be doing is not defined by you. So exactly who you are, right? So societal conditions put a lot of pressure on one, that they forget to understand themselves. They don't they don't get the time to think, okay, if my nationality, gender, name, caste, religion, my profession, if everything has been taken, which all are the external identities, if that all has been taken from me, then who exactly I am? People don't ask this question because they are not left with there's a concept in psychology, like which we call it as a mental space. So what mental space exactly is, you can, if you have to consider it as a pot who's having a water, and within that much that pot can contain that much water, and you have put that much water in that pan, and now you start boiling it. So it boils, it goes up, because now you can't see the surface, because it has a lot of uh, uh, because of boiling water you can't see the surface, so it has to cool down. So once it is settled, then you can see the surface of that pot, that pan.
Yes.
So the same goes with the mental space. What we are doing is we are just putting enough of each and every bit into our pan of mindfulness, and the space, the mental space that is required to think, is shrinking. So now I have that much of space. So if I consider, uh, if I have this much capacity of a pan, and I have this much water in it, then I have the capacity to think that much. So what exactly this is, the water that I'm talking about is all the things that is happening around you, your societal conditions, your the information that your mind is carrying at the moment. So everything is considered by that amount of water, and the leftover space is the mental space. So society has done a lot of pressure on each individual that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that, and that comes up and sums up, consume all of the space, and we majority of the people are not left with mental space. So that causes stress, anxiety, and in severe conditions depressions as well. So that is ruining people. They that's not helping them, but bringing them down. That's how it is happening with majority of the people, and they are unaware of this fact.
Yes, yes, it is true that yes, they are not aware, and whatever very beautifully you have explained with that glass of water and pouring it. Yes, it happens that societal expectations are way more broadened as compared to an individual. Societal expectations are now creating a burden for the people that they are not able to fulfill, not even individual expectations, not even family expectations, and they are ruining the societal expectations as well. Society is
and
moving
that
towards, yes, yes,
and
please.
that's where they feel disconnected from themselves, and that creates stress, that creates anxiety, that creates depression, because they are more disconnected from themselves. They don't have time to think about themselves. So
Yes, right. So, okay. So, my next question is that you coming from a corporate background, so what kind of challenges people face from, if I say about from mid to senior level executives, what kind of challenges people face, and what do they actually do? Do they do something to come out of that, or they are just running away from it and they are not able to conquer it, or they are not trying to conquer it? What's happening?
yes. Yeah. So, from my past experience, 1.8 decades experience from the corporate, so what I have observed and seen people doing is exactly the opposite they should be doing. So, uh, with the with each passing day, what's happening is the people want to achieve more in lesser time, right? And social media is one of the things that is contributing to it, because you hear a lot of stories. Maybe on a LinkedIn you see, okay, this guy is promoted to that position, this guy has started their own company. So it creates a pressure on you without being knowing their personal success definition, without being aware of unaware of their circumstances, their willingness to achieve what they want to achieve in their life. So we again getting pressurized. So in corporate, what's happening is, every business strives to achieve the higher level of you know uh, business growth each year. So what they do is, they set certain higher standards every time. Okay, now we have achieved this, so okay, now we know we are capable of going till this stage. Now we have to step up, we have to achieve this, we have to achieve now this. So with each passing year, that they are setting their standards high. But exactly, I think they should need to pause and rethink, okay, what value they are adding to the society and their customers. So are they, so if we talk about any brand, so let's take a Mercedes. So is it launching a new car every year? Maybe not. If you talk about Apple, so how many new products they are uh, launching in the market? Very few. But what they are doing is they keep improving their existing services and the products that they are serving, that those products are serving the markets. So what exactly happening is, they are putting more focus on the value that they are providing to the market, which in turn generates more business, more profits to it, right? So that's the right strategy. But how many businesses are following it? No, no, nobody, because their focus is on the wrong thing. They think they should grow financially, but forgetting that what value they are adding. So if they start looking at the value, so I consider money as a byproduct. So how much value you would be adding, the more money you will get. So it's that simple. But Even in the economy and in the corporate. So the game works different way, which is causing stress to the executives, because being a part of the executive team, so I know how much pressure is there at the top and in the middle management. And the same, it's like a glacier. So if a glacier is melting, so all of the water is running down in the lakes and in the sea. So if if the vision of the business is solely focusing on gaining the profits and not on the values and values that business is delivering to their customers, so what unexpected you know unhealthy expectations they draw towards uh, each employee, right? So they have to fulfill that, and that stress, that tough deadlines that every corporate individual face is is natural, because that is now a byproduct of their expectations, right? So that is how it is dawning down. And the people at middle or at the bottom, they don't have any choice. They have to follow it, what the business is
Just to
doing.
follow it.
They are just the followers. They are not the leaders, they are just the followers. So whatsoever instructions has been given to them, they have to follow it. And if they are not able to fulfill it, that creates a stress and anxiety to them,
Yeah.
right? So that exactly is the problem. So nobody is talking about the problem at the moment, even in the corporate. So that bothers me a lot, that why they are not talking about the problem. Because if you know the problem and you define it so well, it is half solved already,
Yes.
right? So what's happening is that stress is inevitable to all the employees of a company in the corporate. And additional stress is coming from the social media. They're adding their bit. Some stress is coming from the families. Okay, now, okay, you have grown up, you are 30 now, you are earning, now you must marry, you must have kids, you must buy a house, you must buy a car. That additional financial pressure is coming and building up, piling up things. That's how the game is going on.
Yeah, and keeps on going on, starting from the organizational goals, fulfilling them, meeting deadlines, expectations, and in the process of fulfilling that, somewhere in between, the individual goals are suppressed, and that is why I feel that this can be one of the reason of their anger, sadness, and irritation, that somewhere they are left and they're not able to fulfill their individual expectation. So do you think that the one way can be the merging of the individual and organizational goals at the upper level, as Narayan Murthy says,
Absolutely.
that our assets move out in the evening and we should make sure that they should come back in the morning. So here he talks about the human capital, human resources, that our assets are moving out and we have to make sure. So if I personally feel that if something can be done in the merging of individual goals with the organizational goals, the things can be much smoother and better, because once they feel connected with the goals, that yes, these are not just organizational goals, these are my goals as well. So in that case, in those cases, the stress can be reduced. They feel more connected with the work and they are able to enjoy their life as well. Do you think that this
Absolutely.
this
You said you yes, you said it very right. Because if the individual who's ultimately doing the stuff for the company, if that person is not feeling motivated, so what would happen? They would slowly lose their interest in the job. They will slowly shut their mouth. They won't express their ideas because they are not feeling motivated. They are not feeling heard, right?
yeah,
So so if and and most importantly, what I personally think is, if companies are also start taking initiative, not as KPIs, but uh, but as an improvement in their performance by having certain learning and development where they are engaged, they are upskilling themselves. One of the things from one of the entrepreneurs I heard about was, skill your people so well that they can leave your company. and treat them so well so that they don't wish to go out.
Yeah. Well
And
said.
that's an absolute mantra that I personally feel is so connected and so powerful to each individual. And if you're investing in your employee, you're taking care of them. Why even they would bother going out? If you're treating your clients, if you're treating your employees well, they will treat your clients well. So
Yes.
it's an interconnected chain. So every business should consider this fact.
We were talking
So,
about mental health, we were talking about corporates. Let's talk something else as well. Ajay, first question is that do salads play a role in emotional health? If people do not discuss about it, people do not talk about it, does it help them resolving it or does it make it more worse?
all right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, silence is not a solution to anything. It just creates chaos at a much more higher level in your mind. So silence means it can be taken as from the two different angles. Whereas at one level it is drowning you down, and at the same and from the second front, it is takes you up. So when we talk about silence and people silently observe, they see, okay, my salary is not hiking, just an example, so I must be silent about it. If my colleague is growing up, uh, and I'm not liking that, I'm not growing up, I am being silent, so that would puts you in a downward spiral. And your
Yes.
brain is so clever, you won't find it that it's playing tricks on you. I just put one post in the social media as well on this. So it is so clever. It won't let you know that I'm playing tricks on you. Uh, I'm just increasing the fear. I'm increasing the doubt. I'm lowering your self-respect. I'm lowering your I'm increasing your self-doubt that you are capable of doing this or not. And your whereas your colleague is uh, more efficient, more that is more skillful than you, and that's why he's getting more salaries. So being silent in one's mind is a dangerous sign
Yes.
from that perspective.
Yes. True.
But on the other way around, where I feel silence is so powerful is when you just cut off yourself from the world's chaos. You just have stillness, solitude, and silence together to reflect on yourself. That becomes an unstoppable power of you, right? Because now in this, what we are doing is we are just self introspecting, self analyzing, knowing ourselves, becoming self aware, how we feel, what we feel, why we feel, right? And why it is so, more importantly, and what I can do to solve that. So that is something. Silence is a very powerful weapon. I personally used it. It is way more powerful than people think. It looks simple, but it is uh, very, very powerful. So now when people think, okay, I have to be silent, no, they need not to be silent always. They have to be strategically silent to know themselves, to increase their powers, to increase their knowledge, to self introspect. But if they are silent about something that they should be vocal about, then that would definitely, take them down in their personal life, in their professional life, in their physical and mental life. So it has to be, the silence must be chosen very, very wisely. So that's what I personally think.
True, true, and very well said that silence has actually to both the dimensions. It can give you
Yeah,
peace, it can bring chaos as well. So it's up
yeah,
to one's personality how they are using it. If they are not sharing, are they really trying to resolve it within? Are they asking, as you said, are they asking the right questions? Are they trying to find out the solutions? Or if they're not using silence in that way, what they are doing with that? So this is how things are. Okay, I saw a post yesterday on Instagram about a girl who died, who actually did a suicide after a fall in Instagram followers count. A
Okay.
24-year
That
girl,
that is
yeah, a 24-year girl did suicide, took this step because of a fall in the Instagram followers, and this is really putting up a question, that is social media adding to these anxieties, that even a drop in the follower count can lead to these situations, or she was already undergoing something and she could not process those emotions.
yes. You just named that very well, that it's not, that person is not very emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
We see people in India who are, who have very high IQ but very low EQ,
Low EQ.
right? So they are not emotionally well versed. They don't know the emotions. So there's a thing that I want my all of our viewers here to know and understand. Okay, so what people think is, I'm angry. No, you are not. They think, I'm happy. No, you are not. So they don't have that high intelligence, emotional intelligence. Actually, you are not happy or you're not sad. You are feeling sad. You are feeling happy. So once you detach that emotion from yourself, you see the actual reality. But when once you become an emotion, so that drains you, or gives a emotional spike for a moment, and then it settles down. So that shouldn't be the case for all of you who are listening to this podcast. So, and that's very powerful insight that I'm giving you and sharing with you all
Yeah.
here, because what's having is, what happens is, uh, that incident is very sad for me to hear personally. But again, I'm feeling sad. I'm not sad, I'm feeling sad for that girl. And some may label it as a cold person, but that's okay to me. But the point here that we are making is and discussing is how social media contributed to take that girl that decision that she should do a suicide. So that was an outward pressure of something else. So always, one must always remember that the external titles that are given to you can be taken away, but
Yes.
your true identity of your own self, that cannot be teared off or taken away from you anyhow, by anybody, anywhere, anytime. So it's you, who exactly you are, and that's where people are lacking. They have not developed their mindset to a level where I feel people like us are more required in the world, to educate them, empower them, and elevate them, so that they know themselves. Actually, they need to know themselves. They need not to know anybody else. Who is social media? Social media is nothing but uh, a world, a virtual world around us, where we think people are thinking about us. But is that really a case? No. Social media is telling you, connecting you people around the globe, but is it telling you to be stressed out of it? No, it's your own personal perception about the social media. And why is so? Because you don't know yourself. Once you understand yourself, these things don't matter to you at all. Why? Because what happens? So these kind of incidents. So I we just discussed in our previous discussion as well. So if some of my corporate employee got promoted, I feel jealous. Why? Because I'm comparing myself to them. I'm not comparing myself with my own six months old or 1 year old self, because the comparison is not getting at the right place. Why? Because I don't have that right mindset at the very first place. And the same is happening with the social media. It is adding up, and people nowadays I see people is just go to Goa. They just pull up their mobile and they take selfies, and they immediately put on social media. So it is kind of putting a stress on the other side,
Yes.
who is seeing those photos and videos. They see, okay, that guy is having a chill time, and I'm still stuck in the office. That demotivates you. So the effect of social media that it has to be, is exactly the adverse of what it has thought to be created
Yes.
for,
Yes.
right? So now these people are, taking that adverse effect and emotionally engaging with it, and then taking a severe step that is never meant to happen, that is never meant to be taken by anybody. That was so disturbing, that people should, take certain responsibility about themselves, and see, okay, now I have to be conscious enough, I have to be responsible enough, that okay, this is my life, it has nothing to do with somebody else. If there's a fall of followers, for an example instance here, then I must not take it personally. But in that time, if that girl might have taken the silence as her powerful weapon and reflected, okay, what happened that dropped uh, these number of followers from my account? What I did? Haven't haven't I be consistent in posting? Haven't I, or have made a post which is very contradictory, very polarized post, or is something else that I did? You take in case of Ranveer Allahabadia. So that
Yes.
guy made a mistake, and
Yes,
the
he did.
followers dropped down drastically. But
Yes.
did that guy did suicide? No. He reflected on, okay, that what I made wrong, what I have done wrong. So he reflected on that. He used silence. He reflected on those questions. He reflected on how I can improve and bounce back.
Yes.
That's all we all must be doing. We all are humans. We all can do drastic mistakes in our life. We can take wrong decisions. That's okay. That's not an end of the life. I see students of grade 10th, or maybe graduate students who don't score uh, 99%. They do a suicide even after having a 95.4% number. So these news are common, and these are very heartbreaking news to me, and showing one strong fact about the society, that majority of people are not having the right mindset.
Yes. Yes. Now
So
it
one
is
should be
quite
very wise
high
enough.
time. Yeah, it is quite high time to think about it, especially after pandemic. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed in a way that, yes, a little awareness is coming up around mental health, but what exactly it is, still that awareness is not there. What is mental health? People are not aware about, right? So, and also it's taking in different directions. Like after pandemic, I'm feeling and I have observed that people are having social anxieties after remaining at home and work from home. People when they are moving to their offices, and not just with adults, also with childrens, they're not enjoying their schools as they used to enjoy before pandemic. And also there's a lot of social anxiety in meeting with people, and also especially in daily, or I'm observing these things, that people are now reluctant in sharing anything about anything. This is the change I have seen. I don't know, maybe this comes to me personally. I have met with so many people, and this is what I've observed in the
People
circle.
are behaving, yeah, people are behaving that way because our mind is so adaptive. If you see the age when people used to live in cages, and now, and maybe 2020, or maybe in 2000, so there is a constant change in the living style, because we are the species who's most adaptable. That's why we are surviving. But that's again, at times it is blessing, and at times it is a disguise. So what I feel is people should take these things, adapt these things for the good, but they must be very mindful about what they should take and what they should leave.
Yes.
Because if the pandemic has given them the choice of staying home with their loved ones, doing the work that they are supposed to be doing, with the time flexibility. But again, if they are, now they don't want to, they feel comfortable at home. They need not to dress up every morning, get up every morning on time, get ready for the job, and just commute, so that they become on time. So now they have become a lazy. a bit of lazy. They now have become, but now they have to adopt it back. Okay, now you are going to office, you are meeting people, you are meeting different auras, you have so much to learn that vertically it is impossible to uh, learn from each other, because we we are human, so we don't interact uh, through verbal communication. So there is a spiritual communication, or there is a body gestures or the aura around people. You might have witnessed the same, that certain people are those, even if you are in the vicinity of those guys, so you feel so energetic. You feel, okay, now let me tell, okay, now what's next to do, what next to do, that has been done, that has been done. And there are certain people who feel so drained in energy, you feel lazy, you start yawning, right? And and such experience come only when you surround yourself with people,
Yes.
right? So we have to keep evolving, keep adapting of all the changing dynamics of today's world.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Definitely, sure. And this is how things shape with each and every phase in our life, each and every incident. And this is how it changes our behavior and thought patterns, but also it gives us a way that how we can survive in future as well with all these adversities, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, Ajay,
Very,
now do
very
you
well
have
said.
any questions you would like to ask?
uh
Anything which
I'm
comes to
very
mind?
thankful. So it was really a very wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it thoroughly, because the points or the questions that you have asked are the ones majority of the people don't ask, and they don't think that they should ask such type of empowering questions. So I really congratulate you on that, and wholeheartedly thank you for inviting me for this uh, discussion. I must say, so that not only we, uh, but the people who are watching this,
Yes.
have learned from it. Because one of my mentor, I would love to share one incident with you.
Yes.
So in my corporate career, so uh, there was a country head, Tanmay Vora. I would love to recognize him, because he
Sure.
said, and I used to have a frequent discussions with him, being in the vicinity of him. So what I learned about him, so every time we discuss each and everything, so he always used to say one thing, Ajay, when we depart and say, okay, 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 sir, it was nice talking to you, and let's go back and continue our work. So he always used to say this, okay, Ajay, I just try to make sure that if I've taken your 5 minutes, those 5 minutes should not be wasted,
Yeah.
because
Great.
that is the costliest thing on this planet that I cannot buy back. So if you shouldn't be thinking, okay, oh, I have wasted 5 minutes with talking with Tanmay. So it's my responsibility, obligation, and duty to give utilize your 5 minutes for you to become a next version of your next better version of yourself. So that was so empowering, and that's what I hope our audience can resonate
Yes.
with. uh,
Resonate with.
yeah, so that we have not wasted the time watching this podcast, and they really got golden nuggets out of this discussion. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Rachna, for this mindful discussion.
Yeah. Thank you so much for accepting the invite. And also, guys, I also want to share one more thing that Ajay has not shared this thing, but he is a top LinkedIn voice as well. So please share something about that too.
Yeah, so it is all about adding value to the people that I say, uh, like we discussed it for the organization, what value they are adding to the people. So yes, that's the same thing. I just keep adding value, 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 value. Okay, what value I'm adding? If I'm not adding value, I must take a step back. So because the value matters to me the most. So that's how you, with all of your love, you guys made me the top LinkedIn voice. Ajay Sodhi was nothing. So thank you so much for your
Congratulations.
love, and
Congratulations for
thank
that.
you.
And guys, please don't forget to follow him on LinkedIn. Please share your ID, LinkedIn ID, so that people can share you, follow you over there.
Sure,
And to
sure,
miss
sure, sure.
me
I'll share
also,
that.
the Rachna underscore and him also.
Yeah, it's simply Ajay Sodhi. You search, you would find me there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope all of us, all the people who are watching this are surely going to get some deep insights from our conversation. And we'll keep coming back with him and with other members to share more about it, more about mental health. Let's break this stigma. Time has come. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.